Wonderful. Welcome, everyone, to the Corporation of the Township of Bonnechere Valley special meeting. It is Wednesday, October 15th, 2025, and it is in fact 10 a.m. and we are meeting in the council chambers. I'm calling this meeting to order. Are there any pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? I see none. All right. Well, on behalf of Bonnechere Valley Council, I want to extend a sincere thank you and congratulations to everyone that's applied for a recent council vacancy. Serving your community takes courage, commitment, and a deep sense of care for your neighbors. And by putting your name forward, you've already demonstrated all three. Each of you brings unique experiences, perspectives, and passion for Bonnechere Valley, and for that, we are truly grateful. As we move through the appointment process, Council looks forward to hearing from each of you and learning more about your ideas for our township. This process is an important opportunity to see local democracy in action, where dedication and community spirit truly shine. Whether or not you are ultimately appointed, please know that your willingness to step up and contribute makes Bonnechere Valley stronger. Our community thrives because of residents like you who care deeply about the future. Thank you for your interest, your courage, and your love for Bonnechere Valley. And now I'm going to go through the rules of engagement. So I had this separated out, but now, of course, all right. A vacancy was declared at the September 2nd council meeting for one councillor, and council has determined to fill this vacancy by appointment of applications in accordance with section 263 1A of the Municipal Act 2001 and the policy outlined by the clerk. The term of this position is for the duration of the 2022-2026 term of council ending November 14th, 2026. A candidate for municipal office must be a qualified municipal elector as set out in the Municipal Elections Act 1996 and fulfill all of the following requirements: 18 years of age or older, a Canadian citizen and a resident of the Township of Bonnechere Valley, or an owner or tenant of land in the municipality, or the spouse of such owner or a tenant, and not prohibited from voting under any other act or disqualified from holding municipal office. The following 8 candidates in alphabetical order by last name submitted are Francis Browry O'Malley, Meredith Kaplan Jameson, Kayla Desjardins, William Mark Holman, Kimberly Lehman, Kathleen Lindors, William McDonald, and Tim Sission. Should these applications be accepted by council, the following process will commence. Each of the candidates will be afforded the opportunity to address council for a period of not more than 2 minutes. The order of speaking will be determined by lot. The clerk will place the names of all candidates in a container and randomly draw the names. Each member of council will be permitted 2 questions to each candidate. Upon hearing all the submissions of the candidates, council will proceed to vote as follows. Members of council will vote by way of public vote as required by the Municipal Act 2001. Candidates' names will be displayed in alphabetical order in the council chambers by the clerk. Members of council will vote for only one candidate. The clerk will place the names of all members in a container and randomly draw their names to select the order of the vote. Members of council will verbally cast their vote for one candidate. The clerk will tabulate the results. Where the vote casts are equal, 1 for each of the candidates, then out of the 4 candidates remaining, the clerk will by lot select one such candidate to be excluded from the subsequent voting. The clerk will again tabulate the results. If 2 candidates remain, each getting 2 votes of council, the tie will be broken by selecting a candidate by lot as conducted by the clerk. Upon conclusion of the voting, the appointment of the candidate will be made by bylaw. The clerk will administer the declaration of office required by subsection 232(1) of the Municipal Act 2001. And with that, I will turn this over to our CAO clerk.
I just need a resolution that the names are accepted by council.
My apologies, you did put that in front of me. I have a resolution dated this 15th day of October 2025 that the following individuals who have declared in writing that they are legally qualified to hold office and consented to accept the office that they are appointed to fill the council vacancy be considered by council for appointment to fill such vacancy. Francis Browery O'Malley, Meredith Kaplan Jameson, Kayla Desjardins, William Mark Holman, Kimberly Lehman, Kathleen Lindors, William McDonald, and Tim Sisson. May I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Epp, seconded by Councillor Buckwald. Discussion. All in favor? And that carries. Sorry, I was sending it to you for housekeeping, but that's okay.
We did have a request from someone who would like to go first. So if that would of course be a change from the procedure of drawing by lot. So if council is okay with that, then Mark, do you still want to go? You still want to request to go first?
That'd be awesome if we could do that. If we can't, by rule, that's fine.
So what I'll do is I'll get a mover and seconder to get this on the floor, and then we'll have some discussion. Moved, seconded, perfect. Discussion. Are we okay with changing the rules of engagement?
Yes.
Sure. All right, then. Then, Mr. Holman, you have the floor.
Thank you. Where would you like me to?
Right here in the hot seat, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for accommodating me. We're headed to PEI to visit with my brother, and it's gonna be a long enough trip, so. Yeah, so my name is, it's Mark Holman. I've owned property and been coming up to this area for all of my life, but owned property since 2007 and currently live on Lake Claire. And my family has roots to the area. My grandfather was a minister. He took services here in Eganville, the Anglican Church. And so anyway, I feel this connection and certainly have gained that since my time back retiring in 2022 and living up here full time. It's amazing for me how little I knew about the valley just being up here in the summertime and being a cottager. And I gained so much knowledge and appreciation for the folks of the valley just since my retirement in 2022. Working and volunteering, doing things like the Tour de Bonachère, becoming involved in the LCPOA as the treasurer of the Property Owners Association, working with the road associations in the area. And although I realize the LCPOA can be a four-letter word for many folks, it's afforded me the opportunity to get to know people in the area. I think in general or overall, what I have to offer is my background. I'm a chemical engineer. I've worked for companies like Coca-Cola, Nestle, and although you can't take private sector and move it into public sector, there are some things that do overlap, and that is really around strategic planning and working within the framework of a council in order to provide feedback, direction, and strategy around development. And I know that that's something that we're concerned about within the LCPOA, is how we develop, and not that and doing it in a way that makes sense for everybody involved.
Okay.
That was a mic drop.
That was your time.
Okay, perfect.
Plan that.
Thank you.
No. So as the chair, I will go last if you want. I'll open it up to questions for Mr. Holman.
So it is a year term. What would you hope to achieve during your time on council?
Well, so a year isn't a long enough term to maybe do substantive things. It certainly is long enough for me to understand the workings of council, to gain alignment on specific strategies that we have in place, and provide my counsel where it makes sense. I think in general, what, is there anything tangible that I plan to gain out of this? It'd be very difficult for me to say, and probably pretty presumptive of me to say that I could make significant change in that year, other than get my feet wet and be ready to run when the time is right.
Thank you. Do you have a second question?
So looking at the township, the community, what are some things that you think maybe we could do better? I think we do a lot of great things, but sometimes there's maybe things that aren't on our radar that should be.
Right. Well, I would say that probably one or two of the biggest, maybe two items that I'll step into. One is specifically around bylaws, bylaw enforcement, and how that mechanism can be supported better within the valley. And I think secondly, around providing development opportunities for businesses and for business owners or to be able to attract new and sustainable businesses into Eganville, specifically in the valley in general.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Councillor Epps, did you have your hand up?
I do. My first question is, I'm a member of the Lake Claire Conservancy, and I've been involved in sort of green
Yeah.
issues. And I just wondered how you would see us caring, not just for Lake Claire, although that's important, but all of our lakes. Because we have a lot of, it never surprises me to drive down some gravel road somewhere and find
always
cottages in the middle of nowhere. So what would you like? Where would you see us going with taking care of all of our waters?
Well, I think there are a lot of rules in place, either through the Ministry of Natural Resources, through the County of Renfrew, and certainly through the Township of Bonnechere Valley. I think the confusion and the frustration around the lakes and water bodies is really a misunderstanding or inconsistency on how we communicate what development looks like, how it's managed, and how to keep it consistent so everybody knows the rules. I know there's no end to opinions on what should happen at Lake Claire, and that's close to me only because that's where I live. But that comes through communication, and I think if there anything that the property owners can do better, it's communicate what their issues are and how that can be satisfied within the framework of the bylaws.
Thank you. And that was a good, we do not own those lakes. The fact that the LCC are good stewards
Yeah.
is lovely,
Yeah.
but the lakes do not belong to the municipality. So that's, you had a second
A
question?
quick one. Tomorrow morning, or no, the day after you take your place at this table, Doug Ford phones you and says, "What can I do for you? Anything you want."
Yeah.
What's high on your wish list from any part of the provincial government? What do you think would be a nice thing to have if you were given the chance?
Well, I certainly I'd like for him to open up his purse and provide some much needed funds. I think as far as what needs to be done first, that's a difficult question for me to answer. But if I was putting my hat on, I would like to see I guess spending on to ensure infrastructure and water systems and waste management systems are up to date. It's really no different than what we talked about on Lake Claire with respect to septic systems and being able to have the people and inspections in place to manage and maintain our water systems.
Thank
Perfect,
you.
yeah,
Irv, over to you.
I don't have a question. I'm looking at some similarities about retirement. I retired at age 53.
Yeah.
And moved back here and started a Christmas tree farm, et cetera, et cetera. But in 1997, I was convinced in running for council in Township of South Laguna only. And I said, well, I'll give them 3 years. Well, I'm still here.
Okay, thank you, Counselor. So, we are creatures of the province, which you seem to understand, but what does that mean to you and how do you see that shaping roles and responsibilities as a counselor sitting at this table?
Yeah, well, again, I think we just need to drive alignment with respect to what the province lays down. So basically, it's hierarchy, a watershed of provincial to county to local townships, and there's a certain set of alignments that come just strictly with the way that the money flows and the way that policies run. But there is latitude at each of these different levels, and you can see that in the county of Renfrew, the official plan, and then how that's interpreted down at the township level. So ultimately, I guess we need to find within that wiggle room where the money is best spent for the development and the sustainability of the township, and I guess it's not a real answer, but it's the best answer I have, because I'm not as familiar with that watershed as maybe other people are.
Okay, and just, I mean, the province, the official plan has to follow the provincial policy statement.
Correct.
So again, it's not necessarily up to us at any level, not even at the county level. So your background obviously shows extensive leadership in professional volunteer settings, where results are a focus. In council, though, we make decisions in public and with a lot of scrutiny, and sometimes with limited consensus. So how would you handle situations where your preferred course of action doesn't gain majority support or public approval?
Well, truth be told, it's not that different from the private sector. If you're asking whether I have thick enough skin to manage, I certainly don't have an issue with that. If you're asking me whether or not I can, if I can move my position in order to gain consensus, I absolutely can do that, and I've had to do that for most of my career. Sometimes you have to plug your nose and take it, but most of the time it's in alignment with where the majority of the council wants to go.
All right, thank you. Enjoy PEI.
Yes, my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for letting me go first.
And now the box comes out.
I pulled William McDonald, but he's
Oh,
not here.
all right.
Meredith Catherine Jameson.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Long time no see.
It's been a while. It is really nice to be back in the newly painted, or not maybe that new, but repainted room. I've written it down because I've got 2 minutes I want to stick with, so I'm gonna read from my notes that I
Perfect.
hit all the notes, okay? So hello, I'm glad to be here today to offer my candidacy to serve for the remainder of this term. There are some wonderful people who put their names forward for the position, and you'll no doubt have a difficult decision. I hope to make it a little easier for you with the rationale that induced me to put my name forward. So in the year left in this council's term, you need someone who is ready to hit the ground running. Having served on council in the past, I have done training, understanding municipal act, participated in budget creation, and have a track record of getting big things done in a short time. You also seek someone who is thoughtful, will contribute ideas, and work well with the dynamics of the council. I'm a known quantity with the experience to do this in a positive and productive manner. Mayor Murphy is reoffering for county warden, and Von Shore Valley will need a strong council in place. Before the last election, I fielded many calls from constituents asking me to seek re-election. My job wouldn't allow me to make that commitment. In fact, it hindered me. However, I have just finished a contract with the federal government and I am now available. I have some personal projects that make part-time nature of the role ideal, and I'm ready, able, and have the desire to serve once again to our community and to answer that call. So it is rare to seek a council spot and know exactly who one would be serving with. It is actually one of the reasons I am drawn to come forward. This is an opportunity to join this terrific group of people. In closing, it is important for me to share that I have no intention to seek re-election in 2026. I think it is important because council won't be giving an advantage to a future candidate for office. In my last election, I received the second highest votes of all the councillors. Had that been an election at large, this is, as is the current practice, I would have retained my seat. I would be honored to serve with you and believe I would bring a lot of knowledge and good judgment to the table, and I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna go the opposite direction this time. Merv, do you have any questions?
No.
Tracy?
Yeah, so you were on council before. Are there things that you would want to achieve in your year here? I know a year isn't long, but you can achieve a lot in a year. That's my view. And are there things that you want to bring to the table, maybe that you started in the past that you want to see through?
Oh, that's a good question. I think my main goal of what I want to achieve is just good governance for the people of Roger Valley, to work as a team with the group here to see this term through to the end with bringing ideas forward and really just to work together. I always have a lean towards ensuring that we keep the township an affordable place to live, but also a vibrant place to live. So all of my ideas and judgment come from that basis of youth programming, doing good things, keeping things affordable. But to say that I have one in particular, no, I mean, when I first started on council, I brought the idea of starting a newsletter. I'm really glad to see that it's continuing. I would probably say bring that back if it wasn't, but I don't have any, I don't come with an agenda of my own.
Are there things that we could be doing better? I'm gonna ask similar questions
Oh,
because it's.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, people have a lot of great ideas and we don't always get them all, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that there are always things that that people can do better. And I think with some fresh eyes that maybe that there is new ways of looking at things, to moving things past the finish line a little bit faster, to communicating that, articulating those visions to the township residents. So there's nothing that really I have to say. I think this council has done a good job. It's one of the reasons why, you know, I think I want to join a good team, but there's nothing that I think stands out as lacking. But there's always room for improvement.
Tracy stole my question, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Her first question was mine as well,
Okay,
but I'll try the second.
you're going
question.
last for now.
Tomorrow morning, or the first day of this council, Doug Ford phones you and says, no holds barred. What would your wish be? Do you have a secret desire for the council, for the community?
So as I said, I don't come with an agenda. And what my wish would be to bring council together and say, I have such exciting news. I got an amazing phone call. What is our idea? What do we want to do? Where have we been falling short in the budget? What is the project that we would do if we had a sum of money? And let's look at what that would be. I mean, I think, you know, in my heart of hearts, I would love to see like a new library and a new municipal building. Like there's all sorts of things that we could do to revitalize the waterfront and all kinds of things in a big bucket wish list. But I think reasonably speaking, it's really a council decision. It's not an individual decision.
You good?
I'm good.
All right, so I'm not gonna ask you about the province because you're probably more of an expert than any of us. But I am gonna say, so you have previously served on BV Council and you've been part of some great projects, as you just mentioned in the newsletter. How would you use that prior experience to help this current council navigate some serious challenges that we're facing right now, while respecting how the township has evolved since your last term?
I mean, I think the way that I would be helpful is that I understand everything in terms of how things run about the federal government, the provincial government, this municipality and the county. So there is no learning curve. At the same time, I think there's always, that'd be tremendous hubris to say I have no learning curve. There's always a
Yeah.
learning curve when it comes to new individuals and people at the table and the current issues of today. I think you do have some things, this council does have some things to get finished by the end of the term.
Yes.
And I think that I would bring some fresh eyes and maybe resolve to seeing through the tough decisions that need to be made. And I think the fact that I'm not running again in the next election will help me maybe be very clear-eyed in a position that I could help to bridge some of the gaps. So I feel that that is one of the things in particular that having somebody who is appointed, who's not going to run again, can say things without worrying about what the residents might
And
say to
that,
reelect.
that is the conversation that we had during our deliberation about how to do this. Is that if somebody wants to run, are we setting them up to fail or are we setting them up to win? And it's such a delicate balance because it is only, that's not my good side, Alex. It's only this way, sir. It's such a delicate balance of only having a year,
Mhm.
right? And I think we've all said that is, by the time you're appointed today, it's literally 13 months to the election, which is a little scary. My only other question is, have you been watching our, it used to be easy because you knew who was in the room and taking notes and paying attention to
Yeah.
what we were doing. Are you up to date on all the things that we've been doing in the last, not even 3 years, the last year, say?
I will say I am up to date on some of them, not all of them. I'm not a religious
Okay.
viewer, but I have certainly watched and gone back and watched as well in preparation, and I would do more of that.
So you're not one of our 34 viewers?
I am, but I'm just not a consistent 34. And but what I would say is I think just to the earlier point about setting someone up for success or failure, I think that is one of the things that I would happily step back and say, like, there's lots of really great people in this room. I know many of them personally, but I do feel that choosing one person over someone else who might be up on the ballot next time can give an unfair advantage. And I also feel that that puts council in a difficult position. So I offer myself, not because I think I'm the only one who can do this, but I think I offer a good out on that, as well as someone who understands and can hit the ground running. And yet, as I said, I can hit the ground running, but there is still work to be done. I will go back and watch on some of the issues, but beyond watching, and I also read the Eganville Leader as long as we still have it
For now.
And so I am aware. I won't say and profess to be an expert though, but
No, that's good enough, but that's what you had said, is that, are we giving an unfair advantage to somebody? My counterpoint was, are we giving an unfair disadvantage?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next in the hot seat? Because I've got different questions for all of you.
Yeah, Tim Shizens.
Oh,
That's me.
that is you.
Morning, council.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. So I also have just a little bit of a cheat sheet because we have a short little length of time. Thank you all for having me. As we all know, I've been working with Merv and Councillor Buchwald and Mayor Murphy for close to 7 years now. And I've had the pleasure of working with Councillor Sanderson and Councillor Epps with EGC for the last 3, and I've been the president of EGC for 6 years now. And although we all work together, sometimes we don't always agree on everything, but we've all worked through the challenges in what we've been dealt. And that's where, I'm really looking forward to having the position to come back to council because I do enjoy working with everybody here.
some of the positives of me coming back would be that I'm very familiar with everything of what's going on today. The training, the slipping into the seat, as you know, I've been there for 4 years as well. I know the codes of conduct and, you know, I've been through the Tony stuff in the past. As a small business owner, I know the pressures of inflation and budgets and things that are gonna present themselves in the future for, you know, that's the toughest part of the job, is to make sure we manage the municipal dollars to make sure everybody's fair, you know, treated fair in the whole equation. And as we know, in the last election, well, let's first go back to, I'm very aware of public criticism and how, you know, we can, when every decision we make here at the table, we're always opening ourselves up to criticism. And one of the challenges that you're facing today is who you pick, you're going to be criticized on.
Absolutely.
And one of the positives on my end is I had, of all the applicants here today, the highest number of votes in line of who's applying. And therefore, the challenge of the decision isn't based solely on you. It can be based on the public's opinion already. So what I've learned with democracy is the voter's always right. So that's what I take from it. And I hope that solves the questions there, guys.
Okay, I'll open it up to questions. We'll go with Tracy first. We're gonna mix it up. Yeah, that's okay.
So thinking of your past term that you served and perhaps current community initiatives, what are you proud of? What are some of your accomplishments that you were proud to be part of?
So the things I was proud to be part of was working with, you know, helping alongside of, well, my daughter, you can take a lot of credit for that, really pushed me in line of opening my eyes up to the library, making sure the library is well looked after. I always treated the taxpayers' dollars with utmost respect and give a very, hopefully, you know, not a non-biased, but a fair answer to most of my questions given, like, you know, so, yeah, if that makes sense. I'm sorry.
Are there things that you didn't maybe accomplish that you want to accomplish in your, I know it's a year, but again, I'll say it.
So in the year moving forward, I'd like to see a little more emphasis, and I know current council is doing it, but I believe we have to reinvest in our youth all the time and our kids. And I like to see the kids programs being elevated a little bit more.
The kids at the Uplift Youth Summit
Yeah.
on Friday said, we want to have this more often. I don't know what more often means, but it kind of scared me. But yeah, just, you know, simple things like that are engaging. We're gonna go with John next.
Okay, I have one, first question is EGC, Eganville Generations Corporation is an important industry for our town and generates money for people apart from council and grants. And you've been on that for some time now, and I have a little better idea of how it works.
Yes.
Would you be interested or willing to consider opening the board of EGC up to other maybe qualified or people who desire helping out there?
Councillor Epps, could we keep it to council instead of EGC, please?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. The EGC board is quite separate from this entity, despite the fact that it's the same faces.
Okay.
But just if you could move on to your next question.
Then I'm good.
Oh, sorry.
You want about the Doug Ford question?
Yeah, why not?
Sure, let's go with
I'll
that.
hold you tomorrow, and what do you want?
So, and I thought about that, and it's kind of an unfair advantage because I had two people who asked in the first place.
I was gonna say, anybody that gets asked it after this is already gonna have their.
So I do talk with the road crew and a lot of the people in the municipality. And I know that the challenges facing are let's face it, the roads is our biggest asset in Montreal Valley. Is to keep up with times and inflation. I would want more money from Doug Ford to help us with our infrastructure. Our infrastructure is a big part of what we do. And let's face it, the more help from the province we get in order to help with our infrastructure, the more we can invest in our other programs.
Thank you.
You good, John?
Yep.
Excellent. So municipal priorities and working styles evolve over time. This council isn't the same council you sat with for 4 years. So how would you adapt your approach to collaboration and decision-making to fit this current council's dynamic?
So to fit this current, it's not the same, but it's somewhat is. I've naturally evolved with you guys over the last 3 years as well. Like I said previously, I have to give every decision or every challenge good thought and process it, but that's what the job is about, right? And we're not always going to agree, which is the way it is. But we'll always leave at the end of the day knowing that we did the best or what we wanted to do the best for the municipality. And that's always been my motto, is sometimes I might not like the decision that I'm making. But sometimes it has to be done. So with this group, and I understand we're all, mature here that understand that sometimes just because I don't personally may not like something doesn't mean that it's not appropriate for the municipality. And I hope the rest of the people know that.
So I have one more. So the press phones you and they ask for a quote on something that's happened at this council table. What do you do?
Direct them to the mayor.
Thank you. Murph,
Fine.
you're good?
Yep.
Oh. You are excused, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Francis O'Malley.
Thank you.
And Francis's questions.
Pardon me?
Just kidding. Go ahead, Francis.
Okay, so like a few of our other applicants, I too would like to read from prepared notes.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Hello, I'm Francis O'Malley, and thank you for the opportunity to present today. According to Ontario's Municipal Act 2001, there are 7 distinct roles of a municipal councillor. In my letter of application, I detailed my relevant experience through volunteer work. In the next 2 minutes, I intend to demonstrate to you how I have experience in all 7 areas of former paid employment and am well suited to this position. For 17 years, I worked in Ottawa, first at my late husband's company, O'Malley Communications, then on Parliament Hill, and finally in government departments. And now the 7 distinct and important roles. Have I been a representative to the public? Yes, on Parliament Hill. While working as assistant to the deputy whip, I listened to constituents' concerns with patience and diplomacy. How about shaping policy? Yes, at Service Canada, I worked using communication, compromise, and consensus to deliver service excellence corporate training. Budget and financial stewardship. In all of my employment in one way or another, sticking to budget, reviewing priorities, and ensuring the best value for money spent. Ensuring accountability and transparency. At Human Resources and Development Canada, I worked on the values and ethics file. In particular, I analyzed content and worked to make values and ethics easier to understand for departmental employees. How about decision-making? Certainly, on Parliament Hill, planning standing order presentations in daily question period, ensuring respect and equal representation from all parts of Canada. Any long-term planning? Considering the ebb and flow of the communications industry in Ottawa, long-term planning success rests on being well-informed and flexible to adapt to meet shifting priorities. Liaison and advocacy is the last role. Yes, as assistant to the deputy whip, I was in charge of organizing participation in daily question period. I needed to know the caucus well, their regions, and their issues. I was also involved in ensuring we had quorum for voting and opposition days. I have insight not only into parliamentary procedure, but also government relations. I'm comfortably bilingual, can attend council and committee meetings, know procedure well, will uphold ethical standards, will be accountable and actively participate. And very importantly, I have a heart for service to the constituents of Bon Cher Valley. Never having been on council before, I've come to you unbiased and will bring a fresh new perspective to the issues. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Who wants to go first?
Hmm,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna get back to Bon Cher Valley. You've done good work on the library board and working with our library, which is a favorite of all of us. Have you any goals that you might look towards completing for the library and the education that it provides to everybody in the township?
The library is really valuable, and it is an institution that is so democratic. It has something for everyone, but boy, does it need money. If I were to receive that phone call from Premier Ford, I would say, please consider your library. It serves so many in so many capacities. I would like to see it rise to be more of a hub. We have a tiny pantry that has something sometimes, has nothing for other times, and our food bank is only open twice a month. More consistency there, more programming for young people, more programming for the elderly. I also do a lot of work with the Echo Center, and while there's a lot of emphasis on our library for services to meet young people and to help young people, the elderly really need a lot of support. Connecting resources and ensuring that people know what is available. The library has a very big role, and with more funding could do a much better job.
Do you have a second question?
No, I actually answered that both.
Yeah, she answered one of mine, actually. Tracy?
So if you were campaigning, what would you want people to know you as? You know, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. What would you want people to know you and remember you as? It could be based on your advocacy work or career, as you know, I saw you with background in marketing, advertising.
I would like for people to recognize that they can come to me and I will be an open ear to relay their concerns in an accurate way, in a diplomatic and respectful way, that they could feel no hesitancy to come to me, knowing that if I can't find the answer, I can find someone who can. I would be there to listen.
Merv. Oh, did you have a second
No,
one? Sorry. Merv.
I'm just listening.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. Are you up to date on all things at this council table? And what do you see as a key priority for our last year in council?
I am admittedly perhaps not as up to date on your issues as I would like to be. I understand the importance of the Lake Clear issue being very central to tourism and business and a lot of families on that lake. And quite honestly, I'm reading a book by Robert McFarlane called Is It a Lake? And in that book, there is a movement to give lakes rights, like human rights. And this has taken place all over the world. And there are many countries who are really seriously looking after rivers and their waterways with ensuring that they have rights as we have human rights. And I think we really need to have that kind of push for respect for our resources in order for the area to prosper. And I think that needs to be a priority.
Okay, so my second question is, are you planning to run in the 2026 election? Is that a future goal? Sorry, I will rephrase.
Please.
Is that a future goal of yours to run for municipal politics?
I would like to view and be grateful for an opportunity to wet my toes before I make a decision. So I was, with that in mind, I was looking to perhaps reconsideration after having some solid experience with council.
I think that's fair.
Mhm.
Does anybody have anything else? You're relinquished from the hot seat, Francis.
Thank you very much for your time.
This is going far faster than I anticipated. I thought we were gonna be here till 2 in the afternoon.
Kimberly Lehman.
Where is Kimberly? There she is. Welcome to the hot seat.
I just want to come forward and introduce myself. You guys may know who I am. My name is Kimberly Lehman. I put my name forward for the position when it opened up for the people. I wanted to make sure that the chair was filled, but I would like to step aside.
Oh,
I think you guys have a great pool of candidates that have put their name forward, and I wish you the best at picking from them.
well, Kimberly, thank you so much for coming and saying that to us sitting here. I really appreciate it. Thank
Thanks.
you. Then we only have 2 more.
Oh, sorry, that is Mark Holman. You
Oh,
already,
yeah.
I didn't take him out of the box. I have Kayla Desjardins.
Come to the hot seat, Kayla.
I'm also going to.
Absolutely.
I've only rewritten them like 8 times, so. Okay. Good morning. My name is Kayla Desjardins. As a longtime resident and proud member of the Bonnechere Valley community, I'm truly excited to be here today to share why I am seeking the opportunity to serve as councillor. This community has given me so much over the years, friendships, experiences, and a real sense of belonging. And it is that love for Bonnechere Valley that has inspired me to take this next step, to give back through public service. I currently serve as chair of the Bonnechere Museum Board. I'm an organizing member and treasurer for Bonnechere Valley Inspired, and I also volunteer with the Eganville and Area Community Development Group. Professionally, I'm a bookkeeper with Ledger Lady Inc. I manage my own small business as well as my husband's. These roles have strengthened my financial management skills and given me a clear understanding of both the challenges and opportunities faced by local small business owners every day. Through these experiences, I've had the privilege of working alongside so many passionate and creative people who deeply care about our community's growth and future. If chosen to serve, I look forward to working with council and staff to move forwards with the objectives in the township's strategic plan and tourism strategy. I realize it is only a 1-year term, so I'll focus on what matters most: transparency, supporting local business, fostering community growth, and celebrating our arts and culture. My goal is to help Bonnechere Valley grow in a way that stays true to our roots, while also welcoming new opportunities for the future. I will continue to work closely with local committees to enhance beautification efforts and build our tourism initiatives. By hosting collaborative events and partnering with our neighboring communities, we can attract visitors, showcase our small businesses, and highlight everything that makes Bonnechere Valley a special place to live, work, and visit. Thank you so much for your time and for your support in helping to make our community stronger together.
Thank you. All right, Merv.
No question. Go ahead.
Okay, dealer's choice.
Sure. I know, Kayla, you've been involved in a lot of community initiatives. What do you think we could be doing better with our neighboring townships in terms of collaboration? Any ideas on projects or?
So my thought with that, so being the president of the Bonnechere Museum, we're currently working on revitalization. I look at it as maybe an opportunity where we can partner something like that with maybe North Algona,
maybe lobby for a little bit of extra funding to assist with the revitalization. Maybe working on events together such as Canada Day, maybe we could bring it together as one collaborative event, considering half of Eganville or part of Eganville is North Algona. Just different opportunities that we have like that with events that we can partner with. Maybe we could partner with them for events at Snowdrifters.
Is there any
Different.
specific initiative you want to sink your teeth in your term?
Yes, so I actually made myself some notes because I figured I would get questions about the strategic plan and the tourism strategy. So I'm just going to, okay, so the two main focal points that I've identified in the tourism strategy that I would focus on are the Bonnechere Museum and our arts and culture. So as I just mentioned with the Bonnechere Museum, we're currently working on a revitalization project to help the museum become a true focal point for tourism. And that celebrates both the rich history in our area and vibrant arts in our community. Also serving as a member of the Bonnechere Valley Inspired, it's continuing to expand and showcasing our local artists, artisans, local food producers. We're currently also working on a local food producer map with all of the farms within Bonnechere Valley. So we have that underway at the moment that we could continue to work to for tourism, as well as continuing work on our initiatives like the August long weekend BV Inspired Tour, the Doors of Eganville, our Barn Quilt Tour, and again, the food producer map. And whenever it comes to the strategic plan, the 2 points that I had actually pulled out as focal points for me were enhancing the BV brand and advancing shared services. So to advance the BV brand, I would like to take lead on the creation of the welcome package for newcomers with staff. And to continue to spotlight local businesses and community events, such as the night markets where I have the town involved, all the businesses open. And with shared services, when it comes to shared services, I would like to continue or to support the continuation of the junior firefighter program, which provides such a valuable experience for youth. I'm also ready to assist with any administrative responsibilities to help ensure that the program runs smoothly. In addition to collaboration with, I plan to keep collaboration with local committees on events that bring together our neighboring communities to continue to foster a strong sense of connection.
Thank you. John?
I was gonna ask about the museum and arts and culture, but you covered that quite nicely. Thank you for your efforts. So I'll give you the question, the phone call from Doug Ford. What
Doug's phone at everyone.
If there was no holds barred,
Dougie and I are best friends.
what would you like to see?
What I would like to see with Doug Ford, one of the biggest issues that I've noticed in council meetings this year is updating of equipment. The legislature that's in place to have to replace equipment whenever it is still usable, such as our garbage truck and our fire trucks. I would lobby him to look at it on a rural aspect for our volunteer departments, rather than just looking at it in the mindset of cities who get more use out of the vehicles.
Good answer.
BV's getting all the money.
I'm good, thank you.
All right, so you're heavily involved in tourism and the museum, but we also have infrastructure, budget decisions, roads, wastewater, asset management. How comfortable are you on that side if you were to sit at this table? Because I did hear you say you'd be interested in admin. And, you know, our job is to create policy. It is not to get into operations. So I just want to know where you'd sit with those decisions at the table. For instance, if council, God forbid, couldn't fund the museum actually to its full potential or what it actually needs, which we know is a challenge.
Getting me at all the touchy subjects here. So where I would stand, so whenever I outlined being involved with admin, was more so geared towards the junior firefighter aspect of it, if they needed assistance with that organization of it and such.
Okay.
I think that having the strong financial background that I do have would really be an asset when it came to budget time. I'm familiar with creating budgets between my job and creating the museum budget and the BV Inspired budget. I have a fair bit of experience in doing so. So I think that those would be beneficial when it came down to budget time. I also feel like I am fairly reasonable, and I don't want to see taxpayers having to pay crazy amounts of additional, funds every year to fund something like the museum. Which is why with the museum, we're doing our own fundraising efforts to try to put back into the museum instead of lobbying the township for those. So I think I would have a reasonable outlook when it came to it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And finally, Kathleen Lindhorst, please join us.
Last but not least, I hope.
So good morning. Most of you know me, Kathleen Lindhorst. I also have notes. And first, I wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share why I would like to come forward and present myself as a councillor for Bon Cher Valley, community that I have lived in for 25 years now. And over those 25 years, my family and I have benefited in countless ways from what Bon Cher Valley has to offer. And now I'm hoping that I can give back and help our township thrive and contribute to its future. As you are certainly aware, Bon Cher Valley is one of 444 municipalities in Ontario. It is small but mighty, and with a modest population, it still remains responsible to fulfill all the necessary local services that affect residents' daily lives and influence the community's future. Funding is always a challenge, and property taxes, while providing steady income, is predicted. Provincial and federal grants are unpredictable and require lengthy applications. So I think residents then feel that council has to collaborate and allocate resources wisely, following, of course, the legislation and to the benefit of everyone who lives and works here. So, while I have no council experience, I have plenty of team work, collaborative experience in my professional. So I have served on patient care teams. I have worked on research teams. I've worked on local boards and within community organizations. So I have learned how to be an effective team player, and I have hands-on experience writing grants and proposals, successfully securing funds for research projects and contracts with the federal government in my consulting work. So I'm ready to put these skills to work for Bon Cher Valley to help our community continue to thrive. Over the past 25 years, I have operated 2 small businesses as a nutrition consultant and as a farmer in beautiful Scotchbush. These experiences have provided insight into the effort and commitment required to build a business within the community. This practical experience may be beneficial in supporting the many small businesses within Bon Cher Valley. I also have experience in experiential tourism, and I contributed to the Bon Cher Valley tourism strategy. I see this as a great growth potential for Bon Cher Valley. For instance, by diversifying our farm revenue, we now provide cycle, agri, and culinary tourism as part of our offerings. And I'm a member of the Ottawa Valley Tourism Association, and I have received a tourism award. The other hat, I do wear a few hats, but one of the other main hats is as a farmer, and I see my potential as helping to connect the local agriculture and food security in Bon Cher Valley. For instance, our farm has recently partnered with the Eco Center to provide vegetable baskets to needy seniors. And that funding
that funding is from food security programs that the Echo Center has applied to. We are doing a similar program in Pickwagon as well. So I think I would like to be able to support more of this, connecting more local farms with food programs to provide healthy food so that everyone in Bon Cher Valley can be lifted up. I have worked extensively in participatory research in Indigenous communities across Canada, where I've had to bridge gaps, bring people together, and share knowledge. These experiences taught me the importance of communication, coordination, and trust. I know how to listen, how to build consensus, and how to follow through responsibly. My higher education has given me a toolkit for critically assessing information and for learning quickly. I am confident that these skills are directly relevant to being an effective counselor, listening to local concerns, making informed decisions, and working hard for our community. We're over time.
Yes, I'm just.
Thank you.
I was waiting to get to a lull so I could say you're past your time, but
All right.
thank you. All right, Merv.
Yeah.
You're okay. John Tracy, who wants to go first? Go ahead.
So, food security, you got my ear right there. That's something that we feel very strongly about, both providing good food to those who need it and just supporting our farms, because that's who our food security depends on. So the question is, how can we, in Bon Cher Valley or in neighboring farming communities, how would you see us getting food from local farmers to local tables effectively?
Yeah, so that is an excellent question. And so the baby steps have begun this year when we partnered with the Echo Center and also Pickwagon. I think associations like that and or through the Ottawa Valley Food Cooperative, there are many sources of funds to improve food security available, and it needs a coordinator who can link up the local farms. One of the things we have discovered, it would be so much easier if we didn't have to grow all the food that went into these baskets, that, you know, other farms could, you know, contribute as well along the same lines as the Ottawa Valley Food Co-op, but more from a public funded kind of system. And also recipients would have to be determined or assessed based on their need, and that would need sort of a higher level decision-making process.
Thank you. And of course, you deserve the Doug Ford wish list question. No holds barred. Anything you want, Kathleen, what's it gonna be?
Yeah, so that's so interesting. So most of you know, my husband ran to be the MPP in the past election.
So are you saying you'd hang up on
him? And one of the things that frustrated him the most was people don't seem to understand how much the provincial government has impact on municipalities and their daily lives. It's so much more than the federal government. And
Yes.
so yes, I would love to speak with Doug Ford. And there's so many things, but I feel that while all the answers everyone has given are very relevant, I feel that with the provincial government, the current provincial government, there's a real lack of respect for education, culture, resources of that, arts of that nature, and I would really like that to be supported. It doesn't seem to be an issue yet, but Ontario municipalities have a distinct role that none of the other municipalities in the country have, where they're responsible for childcare, social housing, and shelter. There are addiction problems very near us, and homelessness, and so that would be an area also, I think, that, you know, proactively it would be great to have some funding in place.
Good.
Where our county has stepped in on our own. So
Yeah,
go ahead, Tracy.
you mentioned a lot of things. You know, I know from a municipal perspective, we can't always touch on things but from given your farming background, what do you think we should be doing more of in terms of collaborating with other townships to support agritourism? Because we do have a significant amount of farms that don't always fall in Bon Cher Valley, but what can we do better?
Yeah, I think again, that's more education and awareness. We just had a young family at our vacation farm stay. And someone just booked also, and they were like, we want to do the farm chores. We want to be involved. And we've been on other farms and it's just not like enough,
Yeah.
you know, and of course had to balance between, okay, they're livestock and other pets, but I think, and this family who was there on the weekend said, you know, you are the closest farm to Ottawa to offer this. And it is a good thing you've got going here. So I think that potential is vast. But yeah, it requires that other farms just have a little bit more, you know, there's different things that need to be set up and instruction given and learning about, you know, insurance and, you know, the setup of it. And of course, farmers also have to wear many hats and marketing, and that is something also that has to fit in. A lot of the younger farmers are much better at the social media than I am, but that change it just needs a little bit more awareness and education, I think. And I would say yes, and then marketing help into Ottawa, because I think there's that and Gatineau area. I think there's a vast potential.
One last question, you're
Yeah.
probably gonna ask this. Are you interested, I know it's a year term, are you interested in running in the next election?
So as the previous applicant said, I'm not sure yet. I think yes, I would like to get my feet wet before I could make that decision.
All right, so they stole all my questions. I've got agriculture and tourism bring valuable perspectives, but you've already answered that. So you've noted that you don't have any experience in municipals, so how would you go about learning and understanding the legislation, procedural frameworks? I know that you understand that we are creatures of the province, but there is still a lot to be learned at this table. The rules that we have to follow.
Fair enough, yes. So I can't remember if I was able to get to that paragraph, but so having done you know, a bachelor's and a master's in science, there's constant research and literature reviews that you have to do. I'm particularly adept at that, so I would take that skill set to reviewing the information that is necessary, summarizing, critically assessing, and getting up to speed.
Okay. And are you ready to talk about things that are not in your wheelhouse during budget, such as infrastructure, capital projects, asset management, and that sort of thing?
Yes, and sort of falling back on the farmer analogy, but yeah, I mean, I've had to wear many hats over my life of 40 years of professional experience and community experience, and yeah, I'll learn what I need to know and ask where the right people.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You.
All right, with that, we are going to take 10 minutes. Everybody digest all the good stuff you've just heard. I'm gonna say that you have not made this job. I thought that maybe somebody was gonna, you know, but you're all amazing and you all bring a different skill set. I think it's lovely. So we're gonna take 10 minutes and then we're gonna reconvene. Excellent. Thank you.
Will be a tough decision.
No, I would.
Well, the good news is anybody could do the job, would be okay in the job.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so just. And last.
I've been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
No, don't count on
No,
it.
it's been a year, just over a year.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Sam, my youngest is teaching high school now in Barry's Bay and West Valley. And
they can see it, that's been over the people at the school board, you like, I'm like, well. What, nothing. Not anymore? No, I really loved what it was, anyway, because last year was his first year teaching. And got hired full time at MB, which was great. But I guess there's social reasons to do work with the new teacher. And anyway, they never showed up to MB, right, because it's sort of off the beaten path. And I guess a lot of different things. He said,
When did he go in?
I think at 9:30.
Yes.
That's why I
It's
thought,
probably 3 or 4 hours, is it not?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think it's
no.
very, how long would a triple bypass take?
No, but a bypass, that's where they have to
They-
open
Oh,
up,
they
so
are.
that would be a 3 hour for sure.
She watches a lot of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
But it is amazing.
I know, that's just.
Through remote. things.
I don't get bias because my kids. My kids also put the envelope at the same thing.
Thank you. It's not often I get to be right. Answering my
exams. Teaching math and physics, that's his, you know, and still last year.
Five.
Maybe.
Oh, and then there were five. Dropping like flies back there.
Um, so I have council's names in the box to pull out. But generally, the last person to speak and the last person to vote is the chair. So the mayor and I had a discussion this morning. Is council okay with me pulling by lot? But if I pull the mayor's name, she will go last. Is everyone?
It's totally up to you guys.
It's fine.
Generally, the chair goes last because of undue influence, but I am happy to go with whatever you guys want.
That's fine.
We're good.
Okay,
Okay,
so I'm going to pull names. And then if you can, the list is above me there. If you can say it out loud so that Sandra can track that, that would be great.
and we can also have discussion. Because we haven't really discussed.
Right, yeah, so
Yeah.
if there's, you know, if we can get three with the same name, then the decision is done. If we don't have three with the same name, then Sandra will put all the names that were said in the box. And, you know, whether we need another break or whatever we need, we can go from there.
Okay,
So if we have 4 people with 1 vote, we go through the process you mentioned,
yes,
we eliminate 1. If we have 2 people with 2 votes, we move right to the alternative, which is a draw. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm good with that. Thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that made sense.
It did. Because Annette wrote it.
Well, because it's a lot of rules, right? Yeah, okay.
Do we state why we're voting? Do you want that now or later?
No, I think that you can state why for sure. I just didn't want you to think that you have to go, you know, John Doe, and then there's no discussion. Absolutely, there can be discussion.
Yeah, we don't wanna rush things.
And again, these candidates are exemplary, like.
Yes, that's the hard part.
Right? Not that I thought there'd be a dud in the crowd, but there are no duds in the crowd.
And of course, I told you.
Of course, that's fine.
So, John Epps.
Okay. I'm gonna forego the preamble and I'm gonna cast my vote for one of the many excellent candidates, Francis O'Malley.
All right, he needs a seconder, correct?
Oh, I didn't.
At this point.
At this point, he's okay?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, next.
you got that, Sandra?
Mhm.
Okay. It's Tracy Sanderson.
This is really hard because everyone is our excellent candidates and, but I'm gonna cast my vote for Kathleen Lindhurst.
Okay. Merv.
Yeah.
It's a tough decision. I'll cast my vote with Meredith Kaplan. Jameson.
Okay.
Okay, and
Maybe just to, yeah, I was also going to nominate Meredith.
okay, so we have 3. We'll just change the list just so council's aware.
It's gonna, yeah. This is not easy.
Geez, I can't even follow what's happening. It's terrible. Okay, I've got Meredith, Francis, and Kathleen. So those are the 3 names that are on the table right now. I have 2 votes for Meredith. So if
Let's maybe open it up to discussion on, you just said I'm gonna forgive, thank you, Tim.
Good day.
You're an excellent EGC president. Maybe instead of foregoing your preamble, you give the reason. Maybe
Okay.
that would, you know, sort of open up some discussion.
So Francis wasn't more qualified than the other 2 women on the list. I did lean slightly towards the fact that she might represent, I say Sebastopol, she's on Macaulay Mountain Road, so it's kind of an area that's quite active in our community, but I don't know if you count yourself.
Sebastopol.
Okay, so much for that theory.
It's fine. I'm just, we're almost neighbors.
That's okay. So that was really a reason
Okay, on top of
of her qualities that she mentioned.
qualifications and her answers.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's perfectly fair. Tracy,
I think because of, like Kathleen's qualifications and her background and, support for our farming community, I think she brings a fresh perspective in an area that would be valuable.
okay, and Murph,
Well, I selected Meredith because she's been experienced to be here before. And not only that, the seat will be vacant for the new council. As I will be, this seat will be vacant also for the new council.
what? Oh, you mean for the next
Yes,
election?
yeah, no, I'm sorry, no,
I didn't get that memo.
I'm sorry, I mean for the next election.
Okay, because Tracy and I both looked at each other like,
Yeah.
what are you, like, do we have to choose two people
No,
now?
no, I guess maybe I should be more explicit, for the new, for the next
For the
council,
next term of,
for the next council.
thank you, Bert. I was not anticipating that, but I'm going to revert back. You and I we had this conversation at the table, but you and I were batting back and forth, is it an advantage or a disadvantage? And I think that, knowing some of the candidates and their likelihood of running and which is so exciting to me, like the fact that we had 8 candidates and they're all amazing candidates and could potentially run as early as January next year or
No,
May.
not till May, yeah.
Sorry, May.
Used to be January.
They shortened the time for it. That's how long I've been sitting here. That's on top of Meredith's qualifications, I think that there's no learning curve. And I firmly believe that for a year, I've said this over and over again, if this was 18 months or 2 years, I might feel very differently. But we're literally talking about an election cycle coming in 6 months, 7 months. And so I think that knowing that Meredith is not going to run again and there's absolutely nothing she needs to learn to sit at this table, I think that's where I think it's going to be easiest on us as a table. And I will tell you that I was not swayed by her mentioning that I could possibly be warden. But I will say that I do need a team that's going to be really dedicated. And I think that all of you would be dedicated, including the people that aren't in this room that applied. But I think that for a learning curve, things like emergency management, which we have an exercise next week for a law seminar that she's participated in, knowing legislation, knowing that we are creatures of the province and that municipal government moves very slowly because of that. And I think I'm over my time now, so.
So, it was yourself and Merv who moved the same candidate.
Yes,
Do the two of you want to move a resolution and see if you can get a third, or see if we have to go to the box?
I will allow Merv to decide that. Would you like to make a resolution appointing Meredith?
I would like to make a motion
And I will second that.
appointing Meredith.
Okay, and so I'm gonna call for a vote, and if it doesn't pass, then we will, as Annette just said, we'll go back to the box. Okay, all in favor? And that carries, congratulations. And to the 3 other ladies, and again, to all of our applicants, you did an amazing job. This was not easy. This was probably the hardest thing I've had to do sitting at this table in 15 years. And you guys made it difficult, not this table.
I was
So,
really surprised at the degree of people that came in here, really happy.
me too.
Any of you could do it. Any of you could do it.
So I've got an official resolution dated this day, 15th day of October 2025, moved by Merv, seconded by myself, that Meredith Kaplan Jameson is hereby appointed as councillor for the township of Bungshire Valley, and that this appointment shall remain in effect for the remainder of the current term of council unless otherwise declared vacant in accordance with the act. And please, nobody else do this. And all in favor? That was just wrong. All right, and
Want to do the oath?
yes, I do. That's exactly what I want to do. Thank you.
You can read that and sign it. Sure.
So I'm Meredith Kaplan Jameson, having been elected or appointed to the office of Counselor, in the municipality of Bon Cher Valley. Do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payments or rewards or promises thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I will make the solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Oh, Mary, let's do a post, can we do a post picture, so real quick? Would you sign? Do you mind? You can just look up at me. Thank you, sorry.
Like we should have thought.
Thanks, everyone.
Well,
So. Meredith, do you want to come take your seat?
It's official now, I guess.
Do you still have your
I was
nameplate?
gonna say, I'm not sure, I may have it.
Saving the township all over the place.
It's gonna actually be in my little speech that I would save you money with the nameplate, but I'm not sure that I can find it.
would you like to be deputy mayor?
I don't think that's
You were deputy mayor in 2050.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I have a resolution dated this 29th day of April 2025, that bylaw 2025-051 being a bylaw to appoint a counselor for the township of Bon Cher Valley, bylaw 2025-052 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council, be read a first time, be deemed read a second time, be deemed read a third time and passed. May I have a mover and seconder, please?
Should move.
And I'm gonna get Meredith to move, and John, you can second.
That's okay.
Okay, all in
No,
favor.
sorry, the
I can't.
bylaw has to be passed before.
Shit,
Okay.
sorry. Sorry, so it's John and Tracy I saw, sorry about that. All in favor, don't vote, okay. A resolution dated this 15th day of October 2025 that the a special council meeting be adjourned at 11:34 a.m.
Now she can.
Yeah, all right, so Meredith and Murph. Sorry about cussing, but it just came out. All in favor, and we're adjourned. Thank you, council.
Meredith, we don't even bother with the integrity